Welcome to the Uncovering Anomalies podcast.
Yes.
This is your vampire host, or Russian or something. I don't know what accent that was. That just came out of
That
me.
was it was Russian. Or yeah, I mean vampires are Transylvania, which is like Russia, right?
Yeah.
I
So
think
I
it's blood.
actually I just watched a show on Netflix called Black Mass. Have you seen that?
That sounds familiar. Is it like a government experiment thing?
No. So
Not that one.
it's about wow. I'm literally the first second into this episode, and I
A
am
movie time.
going into movie time. And so no, it's about a show. The reason I'm bringing it up so quick is I just talked to my mom about it before my nap.
Yeah.
That's why we're recording so late. That's really behind the scenes. No, Black Mass is really good. It's on Netflix. It's about this guy who he was drunk driving and killed the girl, and he goes back to his hometown. It's on an island. Um, and his family is super Catholic, and the whole
Yeah.
town is super Catholic.
Um,
It really is super interesting. Well, I just there was a lot of things that paralleled my life, and it was really I don't know.
is it a true story?
No.
Oh, oh,
Because
it's
it's
not.
about vampires at the end of the day.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it takes a really weird left turn. I was telling my mom, I
About
go,
vampires, all right.
yeah, I was like, I was watching the show. I mean, my troubles with alcohol. Everyone who
Yeah.
listens to this show does at this point.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, oh yeah, no, it's so good. It's about this drunk guy goes back to his hometown, yada yada yada,
Mhm.
Catholic, and then about episode 4 or 5, it turns into vampire talk, and I was like,
What?
damn, what a weird twist.
That is
It,
pretty
it's
weird.
it, it it still is go. It still is good though.
Okay.
It's pretty scary, but a good show.
Yeah,
It,
last
it,
week we were talking about the Abyss, remember? And I said it was Michael Crichton. So it turns out the Sphere is the Michael Crichton one, not the Abyss.
what
And they
what?
came out at the same time.
Oh, the Sphere
Yeah,
is Michael Crichton.
yeah, Sphere is my
Oh
because I
my
went.
god, that's so embarrassing because I literally said I don't know who the author is, and that movie I really like that movie, and
Yeah,
I listened to the book. I didn't. So the Sphere was Michael Crichton.
Sphere. And so I rewatched it the other day, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, it's a really cool one. It's like yeah, if you
Yeah,
remember it, like really messes with them psychologically. The Sphere thing.
yeah, no, that movie legitimately gave me nightmares as a kid. The squid eggs falling down when what's that black lady's name? She's walking underwater
Oh
and
yeah,
she
it was Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah, yeah,
Yeah,
she's trying to get back to the underwater
yeah.
base or whatever, and she's going. That's when the eggs start falling because the giant squid is above her. Oh
So
man, yeah, no,
so
that gave me huge nightmares. What a great movie, though, right?
it is. It is a great movie, and it goes along the line of what we talked about. I mean, movies always depicted what can be happening right in the
Yeah.
classified world, and it was the U.S. Navy basically right brings in these scientists because they found a ship at the bottom of the ocean,
Oh my
and
god, it's so good. It's so good
yeah,
and so topical,
yeah,
that movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really good movie. So, but apparently now, because The Abyss was really hard to get even just 2 weeks ago, but now they have a special edition out that
Of
you can
course.
buy.
Yeah, of course.
So I might do that because I remember really liking that one too. But it's probably not as good as The Sphere because it's not Crichton. But I'll give it a chance. I remember it still being
That is
good.
so funny. We went completely backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was so sure of it too.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So I guess we're doing movie corner early this episode, but Sphere, go ahead and check that out.
Yeah,
That's so good.
definitely go check it out. And this is the first episode of 2024.
That's right. The new episode of what? Cuz
Uncovering Anomalies podcasts.
that's right. And by cuz, of course, I mean that's I want to believe Adam,
That's right.
and I am Topher Shakur.
That's a good one. That
And
is
I thought that was kind of funny.
uh,
Actually, Tupac there's a song he has called "Changes" that I really liked in
oh,
high
love
school.
it. Yeah. Me
and
too.
it's still super relevant. Well, some of it I guess is dated, but most of it is super relevant to today. I mean, that guy was uh, n- not
He was
just
ahead of
an
his time.
icon. He was what?
He was ahead of his time, I think. Like,
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Too smart, man. You just see like they had. Well, I'm sure you have. I mean, his mom released some really good documentaries, and she
Oh
used
yeah.
like
No.
older footage. Yeah, like when he's getting interviewed by the cops,
Mhm.
he's got these big eyes, like really intelligent, talking. Like they must have hated him, you
Oh,
know,
I still think he got killed by the CIA.
for
They
sure.
they
Yeah,
don't
they
know
can't
who
handle
killed
those.
him.
Yeah, they can't handle intelligent black men for some reason. You know, every time
No.
like one of them comes up, oh gosh, kill him.
They can't even handle intelligent, not white men.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Anyone who like preaches like how strong we can be together
yes.
and as individuals and free and talk about freedom and speak truth to power, those people just get boom wiped out.
Yeah, one of the Republican candidates for president this upcoming election season is, Vivek.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
he's, I tried to send you one of the clips. I don't know if it even went through. I think I
the
screwed
white
up.
supremacy one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that guy, he's well spoken,
Mm-hmm.
obviously very, very, smart.
Yep.
I like him a lot.
Me too. Me too. Because
You know,
he tells the truth.
yes, he does. But everyone labels him as a white supremacist, even though he's Indian, which I doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But
Didn't that do who they said that too? They said white supremacy is blackface or something. What's his name? The guy from San Diego. He
yeah,
tried to run for governor of California.
yeah,
Him
right,
a
yeah,
white supremacist.
he got the same treatment when
Yeah.
they were trying to vote. What the what the hell is the guy's name? Oh, whatever. They were trying to vote him out.
Newsom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Is that
Yeah,
that's
exactly. That's when it happened.
yeah.
That guy. I forget his name now too, who he was, but Elders. Larry
Yeah,
Elders.
that Larry Elders, yeah.
I mean, the media just went after him. They just can't stand anyone who's not racist. Like they flip it. You know,
Oh,
they're the
yeah.
racists. They're always because they're always calling out race and always
Oh
calling
my
out
god.
color and like it's like shut up, man.
Yeah, no, and Vivek, every
Yeah,
time, he gets called racist, like, on camera, he does such a good job of,
yeah, he's
you
so
know,
good.
of telling them to go.
He's just really well spoken, like on the cuff too. Like
Yeah.
and that's why he did so well with the pump and dump. You know, I mean, people are critical of that, but that's his personality, and that's what he did to make his most of his money is it's because he can just get on TV and do that stuff and
Yeah.
be confident and say these things, and the guy's worth half $1 billion because of that. So I don't trust him 100%, especially that he wants to be a politician, but
Yeah,
but he, yeah,
that's the problem. That's actually a
yeah.
conversation me and my mom, had not too long ago, maybe a day or 2 ago. Or
Well,
just
CNN took him off the debate.
yeah, well, but that's the thing, though. Like you said, if you wanna be president, if you wanna be the CEO of a company, if you wanna be mayor, if you wanna be, anyone in a position of power, then you have a little bit of an ego.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you want to always be on TV, if you want people to hear your opinions all the time,
Yeah.
yeah, there's something wrong there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because the people that really run the world, they're not out on TV or anything. They're in
No,
the background. I'm not saying they're not psychotic, but
well, I wanna run the world, and I'm here doing a podcast under a fake name, you know? No,
right, yeah.
I'm not getting elected anytime soon. I'm not gunning for that. That's not my thing.
But we're trying to get information out there and be part of this great
Yes.
awakening that they're calling,
Yeah.
and just we want to be part of that. And the more people that understand, how things really are and wake up to it, the better it is for humanity.
And I think, we're coming out at a good time because there are a lot of people who are starting to get fed up with everything.
Mhm.
I mean, I know we delve into politics there, and it's not really our jam. We both have political opinions that we
Yep.
don't. Um, we'll talk about with close friends and family and yada yada yada. But
Mhm.
it's not something we talk about on the show because on the show we like to talk about aliens and UFOs and
Yes.
conspiracies, the good
And
stuff.
right, and unfortunately, it gets intertwined with politics,
Very often, yes.
because of the power it has, the technology, the philosophy of it, the origin of humanity, like that kind of stuff, which the control structure likes to monopolize. It like to monopolize everything.
No.
But it was New Year's last. Oh yeah, how was your New Year's?
It
Did
was.
you?
I mean, it was very uneventful. I watched a lot of TV shows and movies, like I mentioned already. We don't have to get back into that.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
no,
ours is chill.
it was good. It was good, and it's been good getting back to work. That was really the big focus. Was
Nice.
just getting back into work and
It was
stuff.
hard for me to get back into
Yeah,
work. I mean, last week I was like, well, I had a cough too. So I did not want to have any meetings. So I pushed those off, so I had to catch up with everything. But it was tough getting back into the groove.
yeah,
But this week should be much easier. Starting tomorrow.
good.
Woo!
Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice.
So this is from Fox 26 News. A video.
Yes.
Strange lights seen in New Year's Eve sky in Fresno. UFOs or planes. Now, it's New Year's, so it could be anything. It could be drones. I mean, have you seen those videos of these drones? Just
Yeah,
wow, this
yeah.
stuff they're doing with these drones. It's crazy. I forget which one it was. They had like a boy blowing bubbles, and it was just drones doing this. And it was huge. I mean, it was filmed from, I don't know, like miles away.
Have you
Anyway,
seen a
very
video? I think it's from Miami where it looks like a girl is holding up her phone and filming herself, and it looks like she drops her phone, but then it's revealed to be a drone that goes and flies over the crowd from where she's partying.
No, I have not seen that one.
That was, I mean, it's not really worth sending to you, but yeah, drones they're fantastic now.
They are, yeah. And so, I mean, let's watch this. We'll see what they are. It could be
Okay.
planes, could be lantern, but these people are. I don't know if they're on something.
Very well could be.
Possibly. Yeah, it's California. I mean, it is California.
Is
It
the
is New
time of
Year's.
year.
Oh, come on.
Right now, I can shake all my drugs in their drug bottles, whatever they're called. For the
Drug bottles. Yeah. Warning: this video contains language that may not be suitable for young children.
What's going on with it?
They're barbecuing.
The Starlings are going. Look.
The what?
Look at the Starlings.
Oh shit! Wait.
Are those the Starlings?
Who those are?
That is pretty weird.
that's a triangle. Fuck.
Yeah. Now it's making. Yeah. Now it's a triangle.
Yeah. I don't think this is. I mean, it seems like it's
Dude,
staged.
what are these?
Whoa. It could be drones though, right? Just going somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
Although we don't have like New Year's stuff here in California.
Everyone says drones. And trust me. I mean, I know you do too.
These are not Starlinks. I don't think they are.
I'm not looking at the sky. I mean, I am look. What I'm trying to say is, I'm looking at the sky all the time. And I never see drones ever. I have
Me
never
neither.
seen a drone in the sky, and the fact that all these
Hardly.
videos
Oh shit!
pop
There's another
up.
two over here. Right here, look.
What the
So there's
hell?
two more showing up.
Yeah,
What the fuck is this?
yeah. See, I'd have the same reaction. This is wild to me.
Look how they're moving too. I mean, it looks like a
Dude, and
missile.
look how they're moving. They're moving fucking weird. Look.
I mean, it's slow.
Wow,
No. They're
this
moving
is great
weird. Look.
footage.
Dude, are those missiles though?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can
She
we
said
talk about that for a second? Because we're about to go into war.
that.
Wait a second. Where did the other?
Yeah, I honestly don't think this is staged.
Oh, they're still over there.
And Fresno.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
guns
there's
too.
nothing really going on in Fresno. I mean,
Look, there's another one over here.
Where?
what?
Wait, what the fuck is
All
going
right, that's
on?
weird.
Wait. Hold on.
This
What's
is
going on?
this is such an American reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, there's missiles in the sky. Ha ha ha! World War III. Let's
Whoa.
go.
Wait, they could
I
be.
think they're Chinese.
No, we're not in China though.
No, but Chinese New Year's.
No, wait, no, but that's not.
No, but that's not today though.
No, there was something because
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, no,
That
I don't,
is crazy.
I don't think this is
No.
staged. I don't think this is
No, they're not.
CGI.
No, these are UFOs. Oh, stupid. Look, Mimi's.
How long does it go?
There's another one.
And I don't think they're missiles either. I know they keep bringing it up in the video.
Yeah, I mean, because it kind of looks like, but old missiles, like like World War II missiles, like
A
really
Scud.
slow ones. Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like. A Scud. Whoa.
I don't know much about. You know what? Never mind. I was going to bring up a story. It was going to tell people who I really am, and I'm not going
They
to bring
are.
that up.
You are those
Do you know the story about Scud missiles in my family?
Maybe.
The Scud
I mean, we have one too. That's the reason why
Wait a
we left.
second, where did the other ones go? No, they're still there.
What's still there? The other three?
Yeah, I'm not seeing the other three.
Yeah, me neither. I
Wait,
mean, well, phones are not
where?
great as we know, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
So they
Well,
keep
they like
coming.
stop moving. Wow, that's
are these
that's
real?
crazy.
I think they're lanterns.
All right. So what does the
I don't
article
think
say?
so.
I think they're tiny
7 strange lights seen in the sky in
Wait.
Fresno.
year-old Hanford boy is picking and bagging the last pick of the season's
Hey, who's
oranges
talking?
to fund his racing.
All right, the
account.
video's still playing, I
At
think,
such a
up
young
top.
age, his parents have already helped
But
him gain
anyway, I highly recommend our listeners go ahead and turn into viewers and watch this video.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I mean, when it comes to audio, we are taking off on a lot of platforms. YouTube just won't. I mean, I think we're shadow banned or something. It just won't. It won't budge.
We're
you
definitely
know?
shadow banned.
Oh, it's
We've said-
crazy. Like it doesn't matter how many how much I optimize it, or share it, or it's
We-
just
We've said too many negative things about the. Yeah, I can't even make a joke about it. We'll get banned.
yeah. I'm scared to mention any. We were left drunk and stumped.
Yeah, no, those people were definitely drinking.
That's funny.
Anyway, we spent way too much time on that. It's a great video. I recommend everyone listen or watch. Very weird, interesting, but yeah. What do you have next?
So this is Air Force fires commander of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Now, obviously, we know Wright-Patterson is where they take the alien bodies. Like Roswell and the crash happened. That's where they took everything to, is Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So this guy got fired right before New Year's.
Colonel Christopher B. Meeker was removed from his post by Lieutenant General Donna D. Shipton due to, quote unquote, a loss of confidence in his ability to lead.
I mean, what is
So
that
he's
all
not.
about?
This guy obviously is not a reptile.
Right, he got fired. Exactly.
Because his ears are too big.
I mean, his ears are too big. Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry. He doesn't even have that big of ears. That was a mean joke. I apologize, Colonel.
Yeah, we hope you're doing well now. And feel free to call in and let us know the real reason you got fired. We are going to speculate.
Yeah, we'll speculate until then.
Yeah. And what happened before this, the week before, is the whole UAP Disclosure Act that got shot down by the congressman or senator that represents Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Still really mad about that.
I know. It was really just a complete loss. So much work went into it, so much effort, the hearings, all the media,
and it
putting it together.
That's the thing that sucks so bad.
Schumer. I mean, you had Schumer on your side, and it still didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, what the hell? These people. So sick of them. Anything juicy in here to read?
No, because all they wouldn't tell us is they said that they lost confidence in him. That's it. I mean, but it could mean that he allowed some information to come out. I don't know. It's weird. But someone who's in charge of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base knows a lot about this subject.
I'm trying to scan the article as you go.
The base is some flying. Yeah, it's just telling you about the base.
Yeah.
And his bio. So it's just weird. And the timing is very strange too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where, people who, God, what the heck am I thinking of? Was it? Yeah, no, it was the newest episode of the Y-Files. Where they talk about any form of government. Basically, there's people that get in there and basically make sure that nothing. Nothing, can get out to us.
That there's people they put in positions of power to make sure that doesn't leak, and they'll sabotage that unit or that.
Yes.
Like they just need one guy in there basically, to stop it, and that's what they do. They know that they don't need everyone there. They just need the guy who makes sure, or who's at the top there,
right?
That can just shut it down.
It comes across his desk, and he can say, "Oh, this is a conspiracy theory," and shred it. We do more commercials for this podcast more than our own.
I know.
Go check out the newest episode of the Y Files. AJ does a really good job on remote
Dude,
viewing.
I thought it was one of his best
Yeah,
episodes.
no, I
And
thought
Echofish was so funny. What was
I
it? Mount motherfucking Hayes.
my motherfucking A's. Yeah, no, it was it's one of those
Genius.
episodes where instead of watching it on my phone, which is normally how I watch YouTube, I stuck it on
Yeah.
I threw it on the TV because I wanted to watch the whole thing. But it's really good at it's about remote viewing, which he's kind of done before. He talked about Ingo Swann,
Mhm.
but this one he touches on the actual CIA. Not touches on, he does the whole thing about how the CIA, literally paid people to be psychics. I
Yep.
mean, that's a thing our government did, people. They got paid to be psychics and remote view, which means you sit at a desk and essentially well, imagine not the
Yeah,
word.
psychic spies, basically.
Right.
Spy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And they
episode is
were
great because it's about
accurate.
alien bases.
And that's the thing, is they were accurate about so much. It's insane to me. It's
Yeah, like that one
insane.
story where he's like he gave them the house and he's like, wait a minute, there's a
Yeah.
secret base next to my house.
Right. That's such a government thing too. All right.
Yeah.
So all right. So to give context, the people who worked for this company that
Mhm.
that the CIA was using, one of them was like, here, check out these coordinates, and then
Right.
Ingo Swann, and God, I forbid, I cannot.
Something Patrick, maybe is it? I forget the name too.
Yeah, it's like
He was a
Pat.
cop, that guy,
It was
right? Or Pat
he
something.
was, yeah, the guy. That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway, he and Ingo Swann both quote unquote remote viewed this guy's house, but instead of seeing the house, they saw a military base and all this other stuff. And this guy comes back and goes, "Oh, I gave the coordinates to my my cabin up in the woods in the middle of nowhere." And they were seeing, they both separately, not talking to each other,
Yep.
saw a military base like it wasn't even that far, like a mile or two away from the guy's
Mhm.
cabin.
Yeah, with a huge satellite dish and underground. They got into the files. They got into the
Yes.
name of the file.
Was it? It was Pat Swan?
No, because
No, Ingo Swan.
yeah, Ingo Swan. No, and it's not. I'm gonna say Robertson, but it's not that guy. It's an easy name, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we can. If I
it was
remember, I
so
can put in
cool.
the
I
show
mean,
notes.
they literally got the names. I mean, this guy who we can't remember the name of, he got the names right of secret CIA documents.
Yeah, he was really good. He was
Yeah,
really good. But I didn't they say they ended up killing him? Or no,
yeah. He
sorry, he
died. He
died.
died in Vegas of a quote unquote heart attack. But
Yeah.
the whole thing was, he said he bumped into a guy in the lobby and felt a sharp pain in his leg, and then
Mhm.
died of a heart attack a couple hours later. He
Of
was having
course.
stomach issues before that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. It very much seems like a CIA hit. Oh man, that whole
Yeah.
episode, guys, is so good to go listen to.
Such a good show. Even the commercials, and I'm like, he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, you can if you come pay for our Patreon, you don't have to hear the commercials." I'm like, I love the commercials.
Yeah, no, they're so good.
He deserves all the success, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, like there's no show like that.
Yeah. All right, so what do you got here?
So there's a full committee member briefing notice. So Tuesday, in 2 days, the Committee on Oversight and Accountability will hold a classified member-only briefing with the Office of the Inspector General of the Intelligence Community, the IGIC, regarding UAPs. So that is on Tuesday. Now, of course, lots of people are saying, well, nothing's going to come out of this. It is the second or third one, and it's the same ones who asked. Grush is not going to be in there, but hopefully that they'll actually show some real evidence this time instead of saying, "Oh, you don't have the need to know" and all these things. So this is a good article. It's about the same thing, but it goes through the history of it, and then who basically destroyed, like this guy and these two destroyed the UAP Disclosure Act.
Well, let's say their
Rounds.
names.
Senator Mike Rounds. Mike Turner and Mike Rogers, both of them shut down the UAP Disclosure Act, which would have brought all this.
Yeah,
to the
and
public.
funded by a big defense company,
Yes.
Lockheed Martin. I feel like that's worth mentioning. These assholes.
And well, this guy, I guess he's Mike Turner. He represents Ohio. His district is Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Yeah,
So,
well,
which is,
that totally tracks. And that makes a
yeah,
whole lot of sense.
they,
Yeah.
just their luck that they got that guy. He's the head of it. He's
Yeah.
the head of it. What lucky, huh?
Whoops! I stumbled and fell and became a congressman or a senator, and now I run. I get to tell when the president can't announce things.
So here goes. Government's 300-day plan to announce aliens. Oh yeah, give him 300 days. So president has 90 days to choose 9 people. Oh wait, that never happened. That got shut down.
Oh yeah, no shocker.
Yeah. So I don't know why they're even going through it. So by Tuesday, typical UFO. I mean, it's a good article. What's this? Declassified. I want to see anything on the meeting. We're excited. No, not this. All right, we know about that.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing really. So I guess we'll see what comes out on Tuesday. You never know.
Well, I mean, how many arrests have come out of their big thing was about releasing Epstein's documents, right? Or like
I
the
know.
list.
The same people.
Yeah, those are the people we always knew about. I mean, God.
Yeah.
God.
Nothing new.
Yeah. All right.
Just details. They had details that came out. That's it. Like more details.
Well, I raped a little boy.
Of course, Dershowitz never took off his underwear though.
Oh, I think we talked over each other there. I don't think either one of us landed our.
What'd you say?
Trying to say nothing. Don't I? It's not even worth repeating. It's just disgusting what these people do.
It is.
All right, so we've got here the next article. Defense specialist encounters unidentified object going, and I quote, going faster than the speed of sound underwater. While doing classified work on the Navy's USS Hampton submarine. USOs, unidentified, what the hell? Submerged objects, thank you. They are showing up more and more in these news articles, and I'm loving it. I really am.
Yeah, because those are way more difficult to explain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Way more difficult. I mean, if we really have those
too.
Yeah, it is scary because they really go into the oceans and see like it's nothing. Like like it doesn't even it's not even there.
Well, I mean, for instance, like one of the things that scientists thought was a myth, the giant squid.
Yeah,
it was one of those things that they thought sailors had made up, as like don't go past this point, yada yada yada. There's squids there, but I keep saying yada 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 a lot. Anyway, they exist and they're real.
Yeah, they are. They are real,
and it's really
huge.
Freaky. Yeah.
So this guy Bob McGuire claims he encountered an unidentified submerged object. The scientist was conducting classified work on the Navy's USS Hampton. He wasn't told to keep it quiet and said he was, quote, blowing this wide open.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that last? There was one more. Read more. Okay, sorry.
Video taken from USS shows UFO splash. That's an older one. The one that they're talking about.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that on the show. Actually.
So he's a professor at Virginia Tech, and with the Institute for Defense Analysis. He's not like some guy. Was carrying out classified work on USS Hampton submarine when he heard the sound of something whizzing by. The onboard sonar determined the USO was traveling through the water faster than the speed of sound. He has claimed.
Sorry, I blocked you out there. That picture of him was super funny.
This one, of Grush?
No, hold on. It's like I think it's one more foot. It doesn't matter. But it was really. It's just him doing that like face, like every sitcom.
You've
ever seen was doing that like yeah.
So there he is there. He urged the naval team to report the encounter, but they determined it would hinder the mission.
Oh my god, so frustrating the military is.
I know. When I left there with the knowledge in my head, not having been told to be quiet, not having been told it was classified, it is mine to tell whoever I want. They blew it, McGuire said, noting he would not discuss the classified work done on the sub.
Well, he can't talk about the sub, but the sighting, it doesn't shock me. that it didn't get anywhere because this came out. He said it happened in the what does that say the late 90s.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that time, especially at that time, it was not. You couldn't say you couldn't talk about that kind of stuff because you could just get laughed at and kicked out of your job.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even though X-Files was out, but everyone made fun of X-Files. I mean, at least now mainstream media when they talk about this subject, it's not X-Files music in the background. They were all doing that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The Los Angeles. Oh, so it's in LA.
Sorry, what?
Is this? He said the Los Angeles class fast attack submarine.
I think
So I
that's
guess-
the size of the
Oh, okay.
submarine.
Squadron San Diego. Undisclosed location and snapped a picture before heading down into the depths of the sea. This is like what do you call it? What is these videos? I just blocked that too. See, like up here, look at the ad. The ad's blocked, see?
I didn't even see that ad until you pointed it out.
It's like Christmas without at least she's covering it up though.
You really got to stop watching so much porn, man.
I know, right? It's all the gifts, or it's
Yeah.
all my cookies.
Yeah.
All these blockers are not working.
Yeah.
They're still figuring out somehow. Now these are articles, so you can't say anything about that.
No. Of course not.
What is her
Okay,
name?
let's
All right,
let's
so-
move on. Let's move on.
So anyway, yeah, this guy, I don't know what took him so long. While the account is bizarre, McGuire's statements echo the 2021 video showing U.S. naval personnel having a close encounter with an unidentified flying object. The object was filmed by a camera. If you remember, oh, it's not here. The one that went into the water without even doing anything.
Isn't that the Go Fast video?
No, it's another one. It came out afterwards.
Anyway, we've seen that. I know for a
Yeah.
fact you actually sent that to me.
Yeah.
It very strange, and it's something. Not to bring up the Y-Files again, but I'm going to because love that show. He talks about it with Mount what the hell what Mount
Oh,
Man?
Mount Hayes.
Mount Hayes, yeah. The people who were seeing that talked about the mountains. Oh, stupid phone. Talking about UFOs flying into the mountain, not crashing, going through the mountain, and that's something we've seen in recent years. That UFOs,
Right. That they just go through like it's nothing.
right.
Not interdimensional, not interplane. What do they call it? All domain, like that? No, not all domain. Something like that.
I don't know. I would say
Yeah.
interdimensional works for me. All right. Well, so what do you have here?
So this is an exclusive interview delving into the scientific study of UFOs with MUFON.
Uh-oh.
It's not super long.
We've all talked about UFOs. We even look in the sky to see if we can see them. We are going behind the scenes with MUFON right
Now this might be a commercial actually and we've covered this before. Maybe we don't need to cover this again. It's basically, I think they're releasing all
Project
Aquarius.
Aquarius, thank you. I was about to
Yes.
say Articulus. Aquarius. Yeah.
Yeah, Project Aquarius. So yeah, go check out MUFON if you have the money. It's $3.99 for annual, but $50 a month, and it gets you access to a ton of material and research.
Yeah.
Just all of their sightings. I think J. Allen Hynek stuff, Leonard Stringfield's notes. That alone is worth it. All his intricate notes that he took with because a lot of the stuff it's these troops, because you always ask this, like, where are those guys who are like guarding these things? And a lot of them went to Leonard Stringfield, and the testimony he got is from those guys. So I'm sure those notes are amazing.
I mean, MUFON nowadays, I know they've had some trouble, especially with the upper levels, whatever what I'm trying to say. But they have done some like serious and really good research and uncovering stuff. So there is a lot of juicy details to get into down there.
Yeah, and I'm still contemplating of getting in there. Then if we do get one, that means probably every show we should dedicate, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, just to make it worth it, of new information that no one else is going to have, because it's obviously you have to pay to get in there. So yeah, I'm still thinking about it. And now there's a new humanoid robot called Fourier GR1 making strides. I mean, there's a lot of these companies now coming out. It's not just the Boston Dynamics and Tesla. So I haven't even heard of these guys. Have you seen these robots?
No, I'm really excited to get into this. I haven't seen any of it.
I watch this.
Man, Westworld was so good, and I can't wait for sexy Wild West robots.
I know. I mean, and it's so true. That show is just how humans would treat them.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, no, they nailed it. Have you seen the old movies, by the way?
Yeah, but I don't remember because I remember when it first came. I'm like, oh, I need to watch the old ones in the '60s, right, or '70s.
Yeah, they're old as heck.
And there was two of them. There was Westworld and then something else.
Future World.
Future World, that's what it was.
Yeah, the whole thing, they could tell the robots were robots by their hands. They didn't have any what's the thing in your hands? Not veins.
Oh, the lines? Those lines?
Yes, the lines. Whatever those are called. Yeah. But that's super interesting. So another another technology company is on the robot front.
Yep, and it looks like they're
walking
and everything.
This is our future, people. I mean, this really is the future. I still think iRobot, weirdly enough, that Will Smith movie. Well, it was a book by what's his name?
By what's his name?
famous sci-fi author. It was a book before it was a movie with Will Smith that I don't think had much to do with the book. Anyway, I think the movie is very accurate as to how.
Oh, not Isaac Asimov. No.
No, it is Asimov, isn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah. Asimov. Okay.
No, he wrote a book, or maybe it was a short story even, called iRobot that got adapted into a movie starring Will Smith, Scientologist, by the way.
Yeah, and it has the laws of robotics in there. That's where it comes from.
Yep. I think that's very accurate as it really that short story and movie are about AI taking over.
Yeah, and them waking up and
humans win in the end.
Well, it's the same thing with Westworld because they wake up too.
Yeah.
But they wake up because they get tortured basically in their sleep, and I don't want to, I guess, give away too much, but they eventually rebel.
Well, it's just like that movie, The Creator, I recommended. Was that last week or the week before?
Yeah, that was last week. That was a good one. Really good one.
Same thing where it's about AI, people. It's about robots essentially becoming human. And same type of deal.
Very cool movie. I like the music, the sound, the acting was really good. The script was good. Who produced it? I mean, because it's not like it was mainstream or anything.
I know.
Because the actor Washington, he's a big actor, isn't he? I mean,
he was in Tenet. He was the main character in Tenet. He's also Denzel Washington's son.
Exactly, Washington. Yeah,
Denzel Washington's my favorite actor. I just watched The Equalizer 3 recently.
Equalizer 3, they got up to 3. I never even knew there was a 2.
Oh my god! So what's funny is, how do I say this? So. My first roommate out of college, and you do know him.
Your first roommate out of college?
Yep, you know him really well.
Wait. Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
Yeah, he and I watched Equalizer 1 in the theaters together.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
How cool.
Fun memory.
I'm sure it was. Well, you guys must have been taking shots or something then.
Probably.
I mean, if I sleep in the movie, it's because of that. I don't drink anymore before. I always slept.
I've never fallen asleep in a movie. I can barely fall asleep in my own bed, man. All right, so sorry, man. We are really all right. What do we have next here?
Well, Jeremy Corbell, he's back in the new year. It's on Newsmax. Yeah, and we're not gonna play the whole thing, obviously, but he had some good things to say here. I like that the interviewer is taking it really seriously. I mean, he's thought about the issue. He's not ridiculing it. And again, yes, Project Mockingbird is a real thing, but it's Newsmax. I really don't think they're part of that.
I don't think so either. Sorry,
not yet.
The essence of what journalists are really supposed to do: ask the questions and have an open mind and open heart and see what they've got. And let's hear it out. Let's hash it out. You talked about being kind of blown away with this propulsion idea. The analogy I make when people say, well, even if there's life out there. They can't visit us because there's no way, the distances are too great. And my answer to that is, what if you had told Magellan in 1500 when he was sailing the oceans, hey, this little journey that's taken you 3 years, someday you're going to climb in a metal tube with wings on it like a bird, and you'll be able to do it in hours. Would he have believed it?
No.
Right. And as you're saying that, I kind of get goosebumps because if I remember correctly,
Wait, you can tell Corbell has someone making him up before like he's been on TV so much. Like his beard is perfectly cut with his hair and like.
No, he definitely has a guy that's sitting there going like, "Oh, you need more powder in your nose, man."
Yeah,
not cocaine. I mean, like the actual like.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, here, let's do this first. Oh, wait, your hair. He's combing his beard. Look, his beard's all combed.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. The guy's immaculate. He's done a lot for the UFO field, and overall I do like him. But oh man, he is for sure one of those guys.
Oh yeah, I love myself.
In our first interview, I said something to the effect of, we're just at the point where we're saying, hey, look, there's probably intelligent life out there. But the question we really should be asking is, are they coming here? And I said that like maybe in like 10 years, we'll be having that conversation. And here we are 8 years later, and I feel like we're on the cusp of that. So to your point, it's like, of course, anything that is outside
that's the
our
Navy video.
scope of understanding, it seems magical to us. But it doesn't mean that it is. It just means that we haven't gotten to that point of being able to replicate it or duplicate it. So if indeed UFOs are real, and if they are from somewhere else, and if they are somehow getting here from distances that baffle us, then there is just a technological answer to that. That's why I call it the UFO problem. I feel like there's a solution.
Yeah, I really shared this because I like that the interviewer now is because that was always the excuse, right? Oh, the distances are too far. No one can make the jump. Like, why are you applying our only known technology to,
right?
Advanced beings.
What's the phrase? Magic is just technology we don't understand.
Yeah, that's
essentially what Corbell is saying here, and it is a valid point. Truly.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like magic because we don't understand it, but it's just technology. Everything is just technology.
Yeah. All right. So next article you got here: UFO sightings in Ukraine put neighboring Poland's air defenses on high alert. It's a whole article. I mean, you remember that story about Poland, like a missile landed in their backyard, essentially.
And it happens a lot. But they're saying this one came in and then left.
Mm-hmm.
Here. An unidentified flying object was also spotted.
Sure if you wanted me to read that or not.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. An unidentified flying object was spotted leaving Ukraine, which further prompted Poland to raise its security levels. The object entered Polish territory near the border with Ukraine, according to what's it say? Polsat
News.
Polsat News, but its signal soon disappeared from radars. Yeah. Locals from the town of Sosnowood. Why do I choose
Sosnowood Deboa?
Perfect. Anyway, those people said that they saw the object at 7 a.m. on December 29th. Polish military personnel undertook a ground search involving 20 officers nearing another name of a town I can't pronounce. Something that starts with the Z.
Zamosk, yeah.
They went and tried to find the flying object, which some are speculating. Sorry about that. Man, I cannot read. Say. All right. So 20 officers went to try to find this thing, and the people thought that it was extraterrestrial in origin from outer space. Forgive me. Given an officer described the incident as strange, given there was no explosion or debris.
Weird, huh? So they really think it was extraterrestrial, huh? I thought like it could have been a drone that went in and out. That's the problem with drones, dude. It's completely ruined this, you know?
It really has, because I don't know. I don't know what to think of this, especially with the high technology. I mean, Ukraine has all of their technology from the U.S. nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so something, we've talked about on the show multiple times that the technology our armed forces use is way ahead of the people's. So at this point, it might even look like a UFO or some sort of thing from outer space.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know is the thing. It's just and it's so messed up now. It's so noisy, this field, because we just don't know what we have. We don't know what our adversaries have. Ross Coulthard says, so he did a new interview. I sent this to you.
Yes, you did.
And this one, everyone's saying most replay. I don't know what it is, but I stopped it here because he talks about these people that he knows about. Here, let's take a listen quickly.
Perfect.
So the people who were 20 in 1970 are now sort of coming to the end of their careers, and they're retired old duffers with their feet up on their lounges. And they're telling me privately that as far as they know, it was never being investigated since the 1970s by anybody in our government. But that's not to say that there isn't what I believe is the case. I do believe that the technology that is in possession of the United States has been deliberately divested to private aerospace. I know this is a controversial allegation, but I think that there's been a deliberate attempt by certain sections of your military and intelligence services to avoid accountability and transparency.
Yeah.
Bazinga!
What about?
Yep.
They've actually committed crimes.
Yes, sir.
Admitting to oversight committees of the US Congress that there is technology that has been quietly hived off into private aerospace companies. And I've been told by people I have to be careful here.
Yeah.
Let me just say I'm aware of claims that there is a group of ex-military who go around the world investigating the phenomena. And my understanding is they're not paid by any government. They're paid by a private aerospace company based out of California.
Long Beach, California.
Sorry, I think I talked over him a little bit. Long Beach, California. Oh my God, we should take a flight over there and go investigate.
Dude, that's coming up a lot. Long Beach, California. I've heard 3 interviews last week that they even that one I sent you of the project. We'll get to him. That project that private contractor for Boeing. He's out of Long Beach.
Man, that's crazy.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So you sent this to me. This is a tweet on X, formerly known as Twitter, by the One. The source of this well-known image of an alleged Roswell 1947 humanoid. The tweet's it's got the picture there. Remember, you have to analyze the provenance in between the lines. Details. Marina. Oh my God! How are there so many long last names?
Popovich. Forget her middle name.
Oh, Marina Popovich. Gotta skip her middle name. Was a Soviet Air Force colonel, engineer, and decorated Soviet test pilot.
So she wrote a book in Russian. So here's the alleged alien or NHI, non-humanoid. Go ahead.
You know what I think that is? I know I've made jokes about it before, and I've heard it on or read it in several Roswell, things about Russia or the Soviet Union throwing disfigured kids over the border. That just looks like a disfigured American, like America actually did that to Russia, and that's actually what happened, and it's trying to get spun a different way.
So that's out of her book. And Richard Geld, and here someone saying Lazy Commie Spies was actually a mock-up dummy made for Strange.
Storage, I'm assuming, but he did write Strange. You're not speaking as bad as I am.
Well, wait, where's Richard? Here, from the book. So here's Richard Geldreich. He wrote. He actually translated the entire book from Russian and put it up. He put it up on the Wayback Machine. So he said, photo number 9 from the book photos section, pages 144 to 145. The occupant seems to be wearing a uniform or outfit of some sort. How did the Soviets get this, or did they fake it? He has no idea. This was in the
the
book
thing
too.
is clearly wearing a uniform, a human uniform.
A human uniform, because it's a zipper right there.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help. So here's the book. He took it on his iPhone, and there's the book right here. It is a pretty cool book. It talks about the Tunguska event.
I love. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, so she was part of the official investigation.
Really?
The Russian investigation. It's really crazy. Yeah, it probably takes up the first 25% of the book.
Is the Tunguska event? Is that widely known? Because I swear, every time I bring that up to someone I'm talking to, they think I'm making it up. It was 1908 in Siberia.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Right. The official story is that an asteroid or whatever doesn't matter.
Yeah, as an asteroid or a meteor was the official
I was going to say or a meteor, but I think a meteor doesn't enter Earth's atmosphere. It doesn't matter. In 1908 in Siberia, something exploded in the atmosphere above the ground. It didn't hit the ground, but it was such a huge thing. It knocked down all the trees in that area, and I believe people as far as like England were talking about huge explosion that they heard
in megatons.
Again, this was in 1908, so it's hard to, something as big as that explodes. It's weird.
Yeah. So I mean, in their investigation, they found some radioactive isotopes, which only happen with nukes. But they said it's not a nuke. They think that it was some laser attempt, some communication attempt, or something from another planet, something like that.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. And there's really no. I mean, I know the official story is asteroid or whatever, but officially, I don't think anyone has any theories as to what this was. It's just weird.
If it was a meteor or an asteroid,
they'd find part of it.
Yes, and it would have fused with the Earth, and then all this Earth would have been thrown up into the air. None of that happened. It was just an explosion. They just knocked out all these trees.
Super weird. And they even have picture, like they did an expedition, like it was something stupid, like 20 years later. Yeah, they went and checked out, and they're still, there were trees that were knocked down. It's
because it was so remote. The people that live around there, when they asked them like what happened, it sounds like a nuke. They said that they saw a light. Then they heard there was a shock wave and then the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very similar to a nuke.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you remember, on our last show we had predictions for 2024. And I said, hopefully Roswell will come out since that's 25 years. So maybe that's why all this stuff is coming out, because maybe they are going to disclose Roswell because it's been so long, and the law says they have to. I mean, unless.
Well, the law doesn't mean anything to the people in charge. But what do you got here? Because this
is an interview with she's Albert Einstein's not assistant, but one of his students that she went, and apparently the government used Albert Einstein and one of his students as to study the Roswell aliens. So she's interviewed here. Really cool listening to her. But if you want to read what the Juan says.
Yeah, the Juan says, Bernardo Kastrup's latest essay on the origin of the UFO phenomenon reminded me of Dr. Shirley Wright's audio clip. That's the sound that's attached, where she states that not only were she and Albert Einstein involved in studying the Roswell EBE, remind me of that.
Extraterrestrial biological entity.
Thank you. But based on that, based on the data, the Roswell humanoids lived underground.
Yeah.
Think about that, and then consider what Kastrup indicated in his essay regarding the Earth-based origin of the UFO phenomenon and its quote-unquote occupants.
Yeah, and that's coming up a lot too. That they're part of some management structure of the Earth, to keep us in check, to monitor us. That they are clones of some kind.
Yeah. Again, and not to keep doing this, it is in AJ's most recent episode of the Y-Files.
Is it really? Oh yeah, he does talk about that. That's right. He
Yeah.
brushes on it. So yeah,
these are really, really scary hand-drawn photos that we're looking at now.
I know.
I don't think the eyes are correct. Like that one on the bottom right that you've got your cursor on, they're too human-like. And I don't.
Even if you hear her, she says that their eyes were prominent, that they were huge. And what I want to say, but also there's so many reports saying that they look like Asians. These alien beings can be mistaken for Asians from far away.
Yeah, even is it John A. Keel? Whoever wrote
Keel,
Keel, when he wrote about the Mothman in I believe it was West Virginia, that was something he came across a lot. Is that they they appeared Asian to a lot of people.
So interesting. So let's take a listen to what she says.
I don't know whether I even have a note
no.
on that. The program that you're working on with Einstein, was it funded by the government or was it a university grant?
To him at that university at that time to have outstanding students from around the country picked to work with him that particular summer in nuclear chemistry.
Did you have a title that was given to you while you worked there?
Special student.
Did he take any other students with him?
No, I was the only student.
Lucky you. Come on.
I was his pet. I have to admit that. I was. I have to admit that. There were 29 and I.
Were you there when?
The only girl either.
When the last alien died, were you there at that point in time?
No, I wasn't. I was back at the motel in a city nearby, and I had been told, and I would be able to keep the being alive.
How many were there originally?
9. I saw 9. 8 bodies, and then later we communicated with that one, so there were 9.
And can you describe they were?
Oh, I sure can. I remember that very well. They were a very light, soft, gray, I'd call it grayish green, really.
Green.
And they had a slim, lean, they had no nose, but they had markings where a nose opening would be. They had eyes and a mouth, no eyebrows. They had ears. They had a very forehead, and I'd say relative to the rest of their body. And the ones that I saw were approximately maybe 5 feet tall, 5 feet 5, something like that. They're small by what a man did on Earth.
I mean, 5'5" is not too small.
Their eyes were enormous. They were very prominent. They were the most obvious thing you'd see on their face.
Were there any pupils?
I noticed, but I never saw any pupils.
What color were they?
They were almost brown black. They were very, very dark. That I would recognize. No, I didn't see any.
What about their shoes?
What about their shoes?
Almost in the middle of the garden sphere, and they had apparently come such a long way.
Did they seem to indicate that the atmosphere similar to ours, their breathing?
They asked us about that, and we asked them about it. Yes, they seemed to indicate yes, that it was quite similar. But not identical to ours, though, because they claimed they had made tests.
Did they tell you anything about of their lifestyle was there?
We tried to find that out before we could. They really, we were very interested in not antagonizing them at all, so not to the point where we had them answer too many of ours, so we never really found that out. We just knew that they don't live all above ground, according to what they told us.
They're underground.
A lot of theirs.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Subterranean.
The Earth is so huge, and there's huge cavities, and and again, the episode of the Y-Files, will show that, like, it's very comfortable down there, probably more comfortable than it is up here, because we have solar storms, asteroids, stuff like that we can't protect ourselves against, and they're pretty much shielded from that.
Well, and the thing that really freaks me out is you talked about the eyes, and that's what always freaks me out about everyone's description of them who have encountered aliens. Always talks about the eyes, how freaky the eyes are, and no, I just that really scares me. The eyes,
and they just sit there and they stare, like they look right into your soul, kind of thing.
And that's the thing that so many people bring up, is that they can't understand the human soul.
Yeah,
and it seems like, just based on all the interviews I've listened to, is that they're trying to figure out the human soul.
Right. We have a connection to something, really important to this universe that they don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
And it could be, again, that they were created as clones. They're different than us, and their purpose is also different than ours. And they probably don't have that connection, and theirs is just like how we create robots.
Yep, exactly.
They're trying to keep us in check, and that's why they show up when there's like nukes and stuff.
Yeah.
So DJ is coming up. A dark journalist is coming up with a new documentary, and he's like a clip of it, of him saying, he's been researching this for a long time. He's had Catherine Austin Fitz on. He's had so many other researchers that are not like, they're not the Elizondo or Tom DeLonge part. These ones, they're a different group.
Well, and he's always got his tie on and looking sharp.
He is.
I still think he should shave, though.
You don't like his goatee?
No, man. If you have the suit and the tie on, you have to be clean shaven.
If you want to be taken seriously, yeah. Wait. Okay.
This is fascinating, because in the past few years, what's happening with the government is they're saying, oh, there are UFOs out there. We call them UAP now, unidentified anomalous phenomena. And they're coming up with different committees to study it. Now, what's so funny about this is they've had access to the technology, to the different reports. All their pilots who've seen this stuff, probably crashed vehicles and everything else, for 8 decades. So they know everything there is to know about it.
Yep.
So this idea that, hey, we need to study this, there's something weird going on. But I'll tell you how this crosses into where we are now.
Yeah.
If you look at the beginning of 2023, they had this whole thing with the Chinese balloon going across America. And they made up all these weird excuses like, oh, we didn't see it.
Yeah.
And it's weird, because I went in and I studied what is the laws pertaining to balloons. And they had a law on the books, national security, from World War II, because Japan used to float these poisonous bombs across the West Coast, and nothing that's a balloon can get anywhere near the United States without them taking it out. So the official news stories about the Chinese balloon were all bunk, because of course they saw it. One, they can see anything through NORAD. You're not going to miss a balloon.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that once they saw it, they let it go right across the United States. Then later, they had the NORAD commander come out and say, we shot down UFOs over Canada and Alaska. They used the term UFO.
Yeah, I was just going to mention. Huh.
So, they're ready. They're putting something in the public's mind there about it. They didn't need to use, and they've never, ever suggested that before. They used to be in total denial mode. So what if we now kind of walked into Alice in Wonderland, moving into, this whole thing where they're talking about the stuff that they've kept hidden for 80 years, but they don't know quite how to bring that conversation out to the public, especially in a way that's still advantageous to them.
Yeah.
So we're in a weird place with that. But I remember looking at that New York Times headline and thinking, they're saying UFO shoot down? This is remarkable.
Yeah.
And it's almost a casual thing. So when they got to the summer hearings that we had, and they had this guy, Grush, who came out of the NGA, and all the CIA people coming forward and saying, oh, I saw all this stuff. I don't think much of the whistleblowers themselves. I think that they're doing counterintelligence, but I do think that it's remarkable that we're in this era where they're bringing things forward on a congressional level. Think about that.
Yeah.
I mean, they got rid of congressional hearings in the 60s on UFOs. So why are they bringing all that back? It tells you a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he going to tell us?
So,
Is he going to end
what are the
I
two
wanna hear what
kinds
she
of
has to say.
UAP, UFO disclosure in modern society?
Right. So you have the CIA false
not gonna hear
disclosure narrative, which comes out of the NSA, the NRO, the NGA, the DIA. They all operate on a counterintelligence basis when it comes to these very highly important subjects. So we had a physicist, they had this Oppenheimer movie out recently.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who was around in the same period named Robert Sarbarker.
Oh yeah, before we get into that, yeah, I really wanted Oppenheimer the movie to just have some hint of UFOs in there.
No, I told you
we
that
all,
wasn't going to happen.
I know,
I
I
said
know.
it. I was like, no, they're
I
definitely not going to do that.
thought Nolan would, but yeah, he didn't. Just a little scene, like one line, something like that, because he was heavily involved with it.
Of course not.
And yeah, and they saw UFOs all the time when they were doing this research. So yeah, now he's going to get into Starbucker, and he's really important.
And he was right up there with Oppenheimer. They had him on the cover of Time magazine and all this. And he said back then, oh, well, the UFO issue is above the atomic bomb issue in terms of secrecy. And that got him kind of blackballed in that period of time. Later, he comes back in the 1980s, and these UFO researchers are like, hey, you made all these comments in the 50s. And he said, oh, yeah. And not only that, but we had people who ran the UFO file, and he named the people who were involved. Vannevar Bush was the scientist who was involved in setting up our science, for FDR, Truman, and Eisenhower. And he said, oh, he had it, and then he passed it on, and he gave the whole lineage of who ran the UFO file. And he died shortly after that. But, he was in his 70s for sure. But what's interesting to me about that story is the secrecy level of the UFO aspect is above nuclear. So think of what they do to protect it. I mean, and you could say, well, there was a study actually, the Brookings Institute did a study in the 1960s about.
Yeah, we know about that one. It's used as an excuse all the time. Right.
Well, and it's this kind of thing that get people fired up about, what's called the, secret government that is actually running things. It's stuff like this where people have been given this information and they're not allowed to share it, and then they die suddenly, or they take a vax and they die suddenly, or is what it is. I mean, it's crazy to me.
It's the lizard people.
Lizard people. Now I sent this to you. This is pretty wild. It really wasn't about the actual okay, sorry. So if you scroll up,
scroll up.
Yeah. It was posted to a subreddit on Reddit, on my least and most favorite website. Quote unquote, reptilians are not real. Basically, this person was trying to say that reptilians aren't real, but the comments section is what got me, and this is what I sent to you.
Yeah. This guy's saying, that they're shapeshifters, omnipresent boogeyman that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I mean, and this guy was, my dude, they come from another dimension. They don't play by our rules of biology.
Yeah, actually, that was my favorite comment in the thread. And was it you and me who talked about this? It's the fifth or sixth dimension poking into the third or fourth dimension is what this guy is trying to say.
And let's not forget that the core part of our brain is a reptilian brain.
Yeah, everyone
subconscious.
Yeah,
which is the least understood. Our subconscious never sleeps; it's always awake. When you dream, that's your subconscious dreaming. It doesn't go to sleep.
Exactly, and it's one of those things that people bring up all the time. Why are we scared of the dark? Why are we scared of some being with big eyes, long fingers? Why does stuff creep us out? Those are the questions that have to do with the subconscious,
right? And historically, the reptilian, in the Bible, right? Even the occult take the opposite side, saying that the reptile actually saved humanity from the garden, from slavery, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what the occult is, right? And Freemasonry.
Mhm.
And then wait, who else? In Egypt, that the universe is a snake eating its own tail, right? That's
Right.
encompassing everything.
Ouroboros. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't say they're not real because it's a huge universe. I mean, I'm not going to say have they been here. I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting because I mean it's one of those things where you can't prove it's real, you can't prove it's not real.
Right. No.
But the fact that all of our myths and legends come from some fact that's been buried in history, you know, all of this is just this is the stuff that I find the most interesting. You know, human history is so weird and bizarre, and there have been so many things, you know, and this includes stuff from the Bible, the Quran. You know, it's just weird things that have happened, and stories have been made out of it. And you know, I'm just interested in finding the truth, and this is just one of those things. I'm not saying serpents are up there with, you know, Jesus or Muhammad. Don't get me wrong, but
no, but I mean, it's in a way they're intertwined for a reason. You know, maybe if the shapeshifter thing is just interdimensional beings, and maybe in their true form they look kind of reptilian, but it doesn't mean that they are.
Yeah.
So Dolan was on the Theory of Everything show, and he talked about the UFO leak of the century, the UFO reverse engineering program.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's 20 minutes though, because I do want our listeners to hear Dolan tell the story. And it might go by fast. I'm not sure. Let's give it a try.
Well, and if they want to hear the whole interview, they can always look in our show notes.
Exactly. Yes.
Hit that.
Go down the rabbit hole, people. You know,
Yeah, please,
don't just take our word
do.
for it. Yeah.
Please do.
Dolan is a respected journalist and author and historian of UFOs, and he tells a story here. He tells a great story. So let's listen to him.
And we know this, all of this happened. I talked about Admiral Wilson back in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, because I knew about this back then. So what happened is, this is the story. In April, this is the true story. In April 1997, Dr. Stephen Greer, who's a UFO researcher, he's making the rounds in D.C. And Greer is trying to talk to anyone in D.C. and positions of power who are willing to listen to him about what he considered to be runaway black budget programs dealing with ET tech beyond the purview, beyond the control of the United States government. But Greer believed that there were rogue programs. And he actually had the code name of, I think, at least one of them. So he's going in, and because he's accompanied by astronaut Edgar Mitchell of Apollo 14, and also a Navy commander named Willard Miller, that got him enough cachet to get a meeting with Admiral Thomas Wilson.
Of course.
Who at the time was deputy head of intelligence for the Joint Chiefs of Staff. This is April 1997. So they get a meeting, and Wilson actually is not alone there. He's with his boss, who's General Pat Hughes, who was one step above him, and there was another admiral. I can't remember that admiral's name offhand. So they have this meeting, and Greer gives his presentation. Meeting ends, and Miller, Navy commander, stays behind and talks to Wilson for a little while, and they talk about UFOs. There's an interview with Greer and Miller from, I think, 2013, where they actually talk about this meeting in a limited way, but they were like, "Oh yeah, I remember this." And Wilson's like, "Yes, hold the next meeting. I want to talk to these guys." And he kept canceling the new meetings. It's a YouTube video, and you can hear them discussing this. But anyway, so Miller and Wilson talk about this after the fact. They're talking, and they talk about UFO cover-up. What Wilson said to Greer was that he would look into this, and he did. So for the next 2 months, he gets advice from different people in the Pentagon, including former Secretary of Defense William Perry, who just retired from that position. And he goes through a group known as OUSTAT, and within that called SAPOC, that's Special Access Program Oversight Committee, SAPOC. And he finds out that within those special access programs, these are black budget programs that have little to no oversight, that nested within one and within that one and then within that one, like so within one, within another, he found what he believed he was looking for.
Yeah.
And he actually makes a phone call to the program manager of this. It's a private contractor. It's probably Lockheed Martin. And he says, you have a program that seems to deal with a subject that I need to have oversight over, and you are negligent because I'm not overseeing this. Wilson was again deputy head of intelligence for the Joint Chiefs, and he thought he had oversight. He was wrong. He didn't. So the program manager says, I'll get back to you. Let me talk to my colleagues and we'll see what we do. So he gets back to me and says, well, we're not going to have a phone conversation, but you can meet with us. And Wilson flies out. Yes, I know Wilson has said he's never went out there. Actually, Wilson did not say that. Wilson said he never met with Eric Davis for the interview. But anyway, Wilson goes out and he meets with them. They tell him, yes, we're reverse engineering an alien or a craft that is not made by human hands, not by man, not of this world. And we've made painfully slow progress in understanding it. Wilson says, well, I want in. They're like, no, you're not coming in. He says, well, you're wrong. They show him a list known as the Bigot list, B-I-G-O-T. It derives from World War II. It doesn't mean bigotry. It means something totally different. And that's a list of who's in and who's out, or who's in. And it's roughly 500 people. And he notices they're all corporate contractors. Almost none of them are DOD people.
500 people only, right? I read into this, and they're all corporate contractors.
That really freaks me out. Most of all, I'm really concerned as to my coughing fits that I always seem to have when there's a microphone in front of me. But more than that, why in the world? What job in the world? What do you have to do in the private sector, not corporate, not country, not government? In the private sector, what do you have to do to get a job like this, where you are like, what do you I'm asking you, cuz what do you think you have to do if you're working for Boeing or whatever, and do you think they keep you in secret, where they give you some thing and then say, hey, make this but human, or do they show you the UFO and you have to determine how to recreate it, but also they'll threaten to shoot you, your wife, and your kids?
Probably that too. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of things. I think you have to be born into it, like a family kind of thing, like these families.
Engineering is not something you can be born into. You have to.
I mean, you're right. Yes, but I think you're born into it, and then they say go do engineering and then join the company kind of thing. But I mean, I don't think every engineer. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but probably the vast majority are like that, because then they're trusted. Yeah. Or you have to be part of some secret society, which then the Freemasons do say something like that. If you say anything, we'll kill you, and it's part of the process, and you acknowledge that you will be killed.
You worship Moloch, you drink blood, the whole thing. Yeah, interesting.
It's just scary how it's
really scary.
And this guy is top level deputy defense intelligence, and he's like, I don't see no DOD on here. It's all contractors. Who do you guys think you are? So he's going to finish up the story, and then we can go on after that.
And he says, well, I need in. And they're like, no, you're not coming in. Well, what are your criteria? Well, we don't have to tell you our criteria, except you're not in.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm going to go complain. I said, be our guest, complain, see if we care. And they actually said, the only reason we're meeting with you now is because we were nearly outed a few years ago during the Pentagon audit, and we had the auditor nearly exposed us, and we had to read him in, and we're dealing with you. We've actually tightened our security measures since then. And it's true, William Perry did a total reorg of the DOD back in 1993 or 94. So anyway, so Wilson goes back and he does complain, and he's threatened with his career, and it pisses him off, but he's like, what can I do? So he was told, like, if you want to complain, you will take an early retirement. You'll probably lose a couple of stars along the way, and don't think about becoming head of DIA. So he played ball, he became head of DIA, and then 5 years later he retires. And this is what happens in 5 years. In 2002, Eric Davis is so Mitch.
All right, so now he just goes into the Eric Davis meeting, and that's what the leak is. Eric Davis, he's a government contractor. He worked with TTSA or what's Bigelow's before that? Not Bigelow's Aerospace, but before that it was called something else.
ATIP.
Yeah, no,
no. That was
not NICAP. Anyway, it's one of Bigelow's first ones. And Eric Davis was part of that. It was Hal Puthoff, Eric Davis, Kit Green, someone else. And they went and met with Davis. Eric did, and had a meeting in the car, and he wrote all these notes. And those notes were part of Edgar Mitchell's estate. So when Edgar Mitchell passed away, those notes leaked out. And that's what these notes are about.
Yeah. I mean, but I don't know, man. So truthfully, the story doesn't make too much sense to me because he shoot, this guy's name, the one YouTube video we're watching, huh?
Richard Dolan.
Yeah. So he's talking about he said Wilson was talking to the essentially the inner circle. They said the auditor almost got, they had to read
before.
him in.
Yeah,
right.
Before
But
that.
don't you just off the auditor?
Well, no. If you remember, one of our episodes we did was, and Dolan did the presentation of the 3 times it almost got outed, the program. So here is talking about that one inspector general that found the program, and because they didn't have the laws or whatever, they had to read them in. And then after they read them in, they made a promise or a pact between the DOD and these contractors that'll never happen again. And that's when Wilson got.
I see.
And then they're like, we're not going to tell you because we don't need to. The last guy we told was the last guy.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, but definitely go listen to the rest of that. He goes and does some more details about the Eric Davis meeting.
I'm so glad you included this. Another post from Reddit. Just there's nothing really to it. It just supposedly lists out all the bodies that have been found by the government and the dates and stuff. So like,
I love that Kingman, Arizona, though, because for me that's one of the new ones. Like I didn't know about Kingman, Arizona before.
I mean, it's pretty cool. This whole thing, it shows the date, it shows the city it was found, and the number of bodies. So the very first one, July 22, 1947, Roswell, 4 bodies. Roswell, New Mexico. I hope you guys know where Roswell is. The one you were talking about, where was it?
Kingman.
Yeah, Kingman, Arizona, on May 1953, 1 body. Anyway,
1 body.
This has got a whole list of them.
So wait, where did they get this from? I remember because I saw this too, and someone said it was this. They got it from a government. Wait.
Yeah, anytime you find green font on a black background, that means it's legit and it's stolen from some sort of government computer.
If it's green, it must be true.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
So funny. Yes, it looks totally legit. I mean, I wish he had some context instead of just putting it like this, because there is a backstory to this.
Yeah.
It was on the dark web or something too. Now this is weird. It says June 1989, UFO and 2 ET transported in 2 Galaxy transports. Is that like a Wright-Patterson Air Force Base from South Africa?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
2 ET living, 9 ET living, 1989. So it seems like we stopped killing them, or we got much better at bringing down their craft.
You know what? I meant to ask you this. Have you seen the movie Paul? It's about 2 guys from England who are visiting like Area 51, and they pick
it's
up
a joke though, right? Yeah, it's like a joke though. It's all a joke.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a comedy. It's all,
yeah.
The alien is essentially, and he's always talking about how they're trying. they're going to explain the whole alien phenomenon one day, and so they're using him and like all his knowledge of pop culture to make sure that Americans aren't really freaked out when he shows up.
Oh, whoops.
No, this is good. This is good. Also, I love this guy is facing away from the camera, and then he's using a really dark voice that they can't comprehend.
Yeah. So this is a disclosure project. One of the disclosure project interviews. He's a Boeing contractor, Long Beach. He brings up Long Beach and Orange County a lot. He says Long Beach. What other cities? He said 3 cities. He says, but at the end, his conclusion is the conclusion that we have. He's done a lot of research, a lot of contacts, and he really went down the rabbit hole with this, with his contacts in JPL, in NASA, in the government, in Boeing, and Skunk Works, and he came to a conclusion of what this is. It's kind of like out there. So here, let's give it a listen. But it's a great interview. Our listeners should definitely go and listen to the entire interview.
For a union or non-union company, they don't have to strike; they'll get it. Yeah, they live like kings.
I mean, you can tell who
from
he
all
is.
of the contacts that I've met.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
My final conclusion and my thoughts about this is that the reason why our government's afraid to release this information is because of religion. This would probably destroy how we see ourselves. I think they should start releasing some of the information that we have managed to collect on Mars regarding the face on Mars, which I know for a fact is real. Through, in fact, I have another contact at NASA, JPL, that I haven't mentioned. I can't mention too much about it because he's still working there.
Well, as much as you can.
Well, the person that I know is very high up in NASA. He's not a director or administrator, but they know what's going on. They know it's a face. They know that it was carved by somebody else other than us. The NASA, JPL, higher ups and personnel there at JPL, they know for a fact, in the imaging area, they know for a fact that the face on Mars is real, and it was not made by windstorms or trick of lighting or anything like that. They know for a fact that the face on Mars was made from an extraterrestrial race that came here to Earth at about 45,000 years BC and set up civilization here on Earth and went back and forth from Mars to our planet Earth to give us information and to further the race that they created, which is us. This is a shock to the human populace, and I think it's the big reason why NASA and all the governments, especially the United States, are refusing to release this information, because one thing will lead to another, and somebody will come to a conclusion that we were created by an extraterrestrial race that came to this solar system and set the planets in their proper order, which they are now in, and exploded the gaseous planet that which we call the sun. And thus God said, "Let there be light."
Oh God.
This would be shocking to everybody here on Earth. And this is what they're afraid of releasing. Yeah. And that's my final conclusion regarding this investigation and who the aliens are. I really feel that the aliens that were on planet Mars came here and set up our civilization as we now know it. And they created these gray extraterrestrial aliens to watch over our planet to make sure we don't blow up their creation and their planet.
Oh man.
Woof.
I know, right? It just goes to show, like, when people talk about that these aliens, that the grays are of a terrestrial origin.
Yeah.
And there's bases and stuff like that. Like even then, now this comes up. Frank Edwards, he was a ufologist from the 50s and 60s.
So his picture looks like he's from the 50s or 60s.
Yeah, it does. So
the ones who operate
the craft.
The ones who operate the craft are not necessarily the ones that conceived and operated the program. They have been coming here for a long time. We've known for a long time that these things have had us under systematic surveillance. Apparently, they are not hostile, which goes. It's the zoo program that we've talked about.
Yes,
before.
and that's what's coming up next. I mean, all this is coming together. It's weird, you know. I guess it's weird, but that's literally the next thing we're going to talk about. Is an article that came out about that. Is the zoo hypothesis?
Yeah.
So this is just a minute long. Frank Edwards speaking.
What is it? What new era do you look forward to, and what do you?
Well, that's definitely 40s, right, or like early 50s.
Yeah, it's a while ago.
think these things are?
Well, let me say first, in answer to this double-barrel question, I think I agree with all the scientists with whom I'm associated in NICAP, and so far as I know, they are all of the same opinion on this, that these craft are spacecraft. Notice that I don't say interplanetary.
Mm-hmm.
They are spacecraft, and that they are operated by intelligent beings, that the ones who actually operate them are not necessarily the ones who conceived and directed the program, and that they have been coming here for a long time. I agree with Al Chop, the Deputy Public Relations Director of NASA, that we have known for a long time that these things have had us under systematic surveillance. Apparently they are not hostile, and apparently if they are going to contact us, we are getting very close to that point.
Huh.
I wish.
He means contractors are not humanity.
Oh, sorry.
Right? I mean, at least that's what I think. Like when people in the 50s said, "Oh, we're so close," they mean their inner circle is so close. They don't talk about humanity.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
makes a lot more sense.
And so this came out, this article, "Are we in a zoo?"
The term was coined in 1973 by John A. Ball, a Harvard astrophysicist and scientist with MIT's Haystack Observatory, in a study of the same name. Ball addressed various proposed resolutions to the Fermi paradox and some common assumptions made by SETI researchers. SETI. Among them is a belief that intelligent species exist in our galaxy, that they are older and much more advanced than we are, and that they make contact with other intelligent species, including us. In contrast, Ball argued that advanced species are, quote-unquote, deliberately avoiding interaction, and that they have set aside the area in which we live as a zoo.
Oh, flat earthers would love that.
Uh-huh. Oh, man, you want me to read all that?
Okay. In summary, the zoo hypothesis predicts that we shall never find them because they do not want to be found, and they have the technological ability to ensure this.
Yeah.
This theory is similar to the planetarium hypothesis. So I don't know about this one, which also posits that advanced civilizations have the means to elude detection from our instruments. Unlike the planetarium hypothesis, the zoo hypothesis assumes that the intentions of the ETCs are benign, which could include wanting to avoid interfering with our technological or social development, i.e., prime directive from Star Trek. So what's the planetary hypothesis is not benign, huh?
Well, no, I mean, I was more of a Star Wars person, not a Star Trek person. But what I know of Star Trek comes from the really terrible movies that have come out as of the last 20 or so.
Oh, those ones, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing where you go to a planet and you can't interact with them. You have to, pretend that the planet is its own little thing, right?
Yeah. So who's this speaking? Schultz Maccock, I believe. He goes, while I do think that humanity is something very special, being a technologically advanced life form, I can't fathom that we are truly unique or so rare in that capability that for practical reasons nothing is out there. Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's scary, but it also seems entirely accurate that aliens that we're in this situation. I mean, it's one of those things where, like for me, for instance, I struggle with the idea of God, not the belief in God, just the idea of God, because if something created this universe and planets and stars and stuff like that, you would never be able to understand that entity, right?
Never, yeah, exactly.
And so if aliens are a step above us, but a step below that, we would never be able to understand that thing, those little fingers that reach into our universe.
Oh, so the planetarium hypothesis, I guess, according to this, is basically like a simulation theory. So he goes to break it down.
Yeah.
This hypothesis states that the reason we are not seeing aliens is that humanity is in a simulation, and the aliens are the ones running it. In order to ensure that human beings do not become aware of this fact, they ensure that the simulation presents us with a great silence whenever we look out and listen to the depths of space.
Yeah, it's like, when you play Grand Theft Auto, you're not thinking about, you don't care about the little characters you see on the screen.
Right.
But if they start screwing up and going outside the borders and all of that, then you start to take notice.
So really cool. I'm glad, it was 2020. But this is universetoday.com. It's a cool website. But they've given some thought into like what this could really be, and just trying to answer the questions, what's going on. Obviously it's strange. But then why do we have like things like this, or was it just to keep us interested?
We'll never know, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah, I mean, the simulation thing is, I guess, not too strange. I don't think we're in a simulation.
I don't think so either. I know some of the biggest brands on the planet have come up with that, but I don't believe it's a simulation.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, it could be possible, but it just doesn't really seem like one, because they talk about like simulation theory, that how computers, how graphics. Oh no, where's this going? How graphics.
I get it, and I totally.
No, I do too. But how like when a computer does graphics for you, it's only where you're looking, it generates it.
Right.
The universe is always generated. Like in a forest, trees fall, right? They're gonna fall. You don't have to be looking at it.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. Like that's why I think it's not a simulation.
But I think the whole thing behind that is, we're talking about simulations. I think you've got a computer that's advanced enough that can simulate those things. You would never know. That's the thing that's where I think that question comes from.
That's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, they'll make it in a way where they know what our limits are, of our thinking is.
Right.
So this is from New South Wales. This guy goes, I've seen thousands of planes and rockets. It was neither, and it's just sitting there.
I don't even see it. Can you bring that?
Why can't I rewind? Oh, there it is.
Well, no. Can you hit that little full screen bar at the bottom right?
Yes.
Perfect.
See how that black thing's still.
Wow.
Below?
That is something.
Staying there, bro.
What a beautiful sunset. Oh, we're talking about UFOs. That's right. Sorry, my bad.
Seen some shit in the time, but it's got me.
And it's long.
Weird. Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
Very strange. I mean, that can't be a bird or a plane or Superman.
No.
Yeah, wow, that's very strange. Yeah.
It was shooting out a tail before.
Very cool video.
It was, but that's all disappeared now. That black thing stayed there. That's still slowly climbing, whatever it is.
Australia.
Yeah.
We have some Australian listeners.
Dude, I loved when I was 17, I went to Australia. I had such a good time and I loved it there, and everyone was so nice. So nice. Even though we were Americans.
Very they love Americans.
Yeah, they were so cool.
We're very similar, and we like things that are big, because they have a big country, but they have big trucks, and we share firefighters too. I remember I had friends here that were firefighters, and we used to send them over to Australia and back and forth because the seasons would change, right? Down under, and it's the coolest accent. It really is the coolest.
They're so cool. That was the thing. I know
Yeah.
it's something. Obviously, everyone says Americans have no accent, but man, going down there and listening to people talk was just a blast.
And they're fun to hang out with.
Oh,
and
they're
party
so
with.
fun to hang out with.
Rio Ranch.
Yeah, I knew I had neighbors that were Australian. My God, did they party? It was I could never keep up. That's for sure.
We when my family lived in the Middle East, I can't remember if we said what country specifically.
No,
I think, if I remember correctly, one of our neighbors was their family was from Australia. Cool guys. And then when we went down there, they were just I can't get over how friendly. Like there's one time, and sorry, Mom, I walked into a club with my friends, and I wasn't old enough to get in because legal drinking age is 18. But I was 17. I was a junior in high school, or maybe it was a summer between junior and senior in high school. They walked in, and just the guy just waved us in. Oh yeah. You look old enough. You're good to go. Like didn't have to show any ID, anything. Just walked right in.
He knows how it is.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, come on in.
So there's a nonprofit in Rio Rancho could now be holding clues to the possible existence of UFOs. This is
Let's hope there's something good. David Romero.
David Romero, thank you, David. He's on X at David Romero TV.
So stupid. Just
X, I know.
Keep it Twitter.
That was the dumbest rebrand ever.
Yeah. Sorry.
The nonprofit in Rio Rancho could now be holding some clues to the possible existence of UFOs. Now, officials with that organization want you to have full access. News 13's Carla Sosa.
Oh, who needs
gives us a
MUFON?
peek at just one example from that collection and the plans to make it part of a museum.
More clues to answering the age-old question, do UFOs really exist, may be found inside one Rio Rancho home.
We have newspaper clippings, audio recordings, microfilm, government documents, videos, photographs, slides. Every type of imaginable media you can think about, we have here that document at least 75 years worth of the UFO subject.
It's been over 30 years since David Marler, executive director of the nonprofit National UFO Historical Records Center, became interested in the documents on the flying objects once considered lost.
Almost every possible country you can imagine has been touched by the UFO phenomenon. And as a result, we have this material that documents that history.
With Marler's passion for UFOs, a scientific group known for its extensive field investigations on the flying objects has now given him a collection filled with one-of-a-kind items. In that collection from the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization is one of the most popular Canadian cases that happened in 1967.
This involved a prospector and amateur rock hunter who was out one day in Manitoba looking for rocks. And while he was out on a beautiful sunny day, he suddenly notices two silver objects up in the sky. One stayed in the air, the other one slowly settled to the ground. We actually have his left glove that purportedly touched this object. So you're quite literally not going to find that anywhere else.
Of course, the city of Roswell has been synonymous with UFOs, but with this collection growing at such a rapid pace, there are now talks of using those items to open a museum here in the metro area.
The city of Rio Rancho, and more specifically Sandoval County, has expressed interest in trying to assist us. They see this as a huge economic boon. The amount of foot traffic, the amount of interest nationally and internationally that this would garner would be huge for our community.
Carla Sosa, KRQE, News 13.
Oh, yeah. Okie dokie there. No, again, love Canada. No problems there.
Of course, we love Canada. Now this happened.
This was weird. That happened. This happened this week in Miami. Well, I'll just read this thing. What happened in Miami? Reports of 8 to 10 foot creatures walking around inside and outside the mall. I mean, this was, in case you missed it, I mean, this wasn't just like one person walking out and seeing this. I mean, There were reports of UFOs in the sky. There were people running outside this mall, and they sent every cop car in existence to go figure out what the hell was happening.
They cut the power.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was such a weird story. I'm so glad you included this
no
today.
fly zone over the airport.
Yeah,
no
man.
electricity.
Yeah, and they shut down. Yeah, like you said, they shut it all down. I mean, they really didn't want this exposed to the general public. It's bizarre.
Yeah, and look at all these cops. Over 100
Like,
plus cop
so
cars.
If you can't watch the video, trust me, it's every cop in existence. I mean,
it's
this thing
insane.
in Miami goes like so many city blocks. It's hard to comprehend.
For teenagers, that's the excuse. That there was a fight between teenagers.
Right.
Look at this guy is just coming, and they all have their sirens on, and it's just a line of cop cars.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it really
I think,
was nuts.
and you sent me a photo from this, right?
Yeah, there's another angle, but then so people are saying that could be they're using holographic technology. You said that too.
Yeah.
But that's out also. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Come on. Black helicopters are saying up in the sky.
Mm-hmm. It's just bizarre. I mean, the response of this was
that's what
it's like
is.
it was
the
another
response.
9/11.
Yeah. Again, why shut down the airport? Why turn off the electricity to the mall? And then why send all these cop cars? Send 10, 15, 20, but 100 plus cop cars?
Seriously, it's such a out of. I mean, it's just there's just so many cop cars. It's ridiculous.
So it turned out this guy was trolling. Unfortunately, he said he was trolling. One guy came out and told the story.
Right? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That was weird. I think I sent that to you.
Yeah, he came out. He was trolling.
He said he and his girlfriend.
Here it is.
There were fireworks and yada yada yada.
Here's some still images. Something's walking there.
So weird. It's very creepy. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, yeah. It's very weird. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to think of this. I mean, if this is, technology we don't understand, like from our own government. I mean, what the hell? There wouldn't be
nothing on the news. Nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing on the news. That was the thing.
When you first shut the fuck up.
Yeah, no. Have you seen these two? I actually know about this.
They're hilarious. No, I don't.
They're two lawyers, and this is a weird zoomed in thing. This was a viral video about a decade ago, but they basically just said, "Hey, are you pulled over by the cops? Don't say anything. Call us."
Oh, okay. And they're right about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Never ever talk to the cops. I mean, something small. Like I got pulled over for my what's it called? Insurance being out or something. What's the little sticker you put on your license plate?
Oh yeah, the decals.
Yeah, I got pulled over once for that. It wasn't a big deal, but bigger stuff than that. You just say, "Don't," I refuse to speak. I plead the fifth or whatever.
It works. I mean, they can't force you to speak, and we're not forcing. We're not. Yeah, I mean, I know cops are like, wait a minute. Now I have suspicion, and now I want to search your car, and they will give you a hard time. It's not like they'll just let you go.
Right.
I've always been very respectful. And that's what usually works. Just be respectful, call them sir, officer, be nice, and they'll be nice to you.
Yeah. At the end of the day, yeah, that's all it is. For whatever reason, cops are terrified that you're going to kill them, and so you just be super nice to them, and they're okay.
Exactly.
Even though
this guy's trolling,
they have guns, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And so for some reason they're terrified of their own life. They've watched
tasers and the law behind them, and
they've
they can
watched
take you in for anything.
Too many Bruce Willis movies.
I love that movie. So this just came out today, but I don't know if he's trolling or not. It's about the Miami.
Oh, good. I haven't seen this.
So he goes, how have I not heard about? Anyway, I'll play it. It's not that long.
About this, my dad's a police officer in Miami, and I mean, like, he's even running for sheriff, and I just talked to him. He didn't say anything about that.
Oh, he FaceTimes Dad.
Hey, have you been seeing the alien stuff? Did you see that at Bayside? You're joking. Did they tell you not to talk about it?
How many times do you want me to slice the pie? I'm not allowed to talk about it.
What?
I know what you're talking about, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Can you at least say like whatever? So they're saying it's like a fight broke out. Why did they send so many police cars? Are you serious? You can't say anything. You're no help, dude.
That's actually, if that's real, that is terrifying.
Yes, it is. He goes, yeah, I know I can't talk about it, but if it is real, then we know they all have to sign NDAs and, just like everyone else.
God, our government is so shady, man.
So shady. And then this comes out. You see this one, the giants in Brazil. So apparently this is now happening too.
There's been a lot of stuff with giants coming out in the last couple of years. Really, again, have you seen? It's not related to Brazil at all, but have you seen the photos of people who like they found stuff back in like the 1800s, I guess it wasn't that long ago, 1900s.
Yeah.
They find stuff that just does not make sense in terms of human height.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And the Smithsonian's hit them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can see this guy here. He's pretty far. They're saying that getting to this area is very difficult.
Yeah.
And they're all speaking Portuguese. So. But there, he's walking around.
Yeah.
It could be a human, just as someone's tall. And
I don't know. It's another one of those weird ones. I question it because why the hell? I don't know. I've been in a few situations before, and the last thing I do is ever pull my phone out. The fact that someone is filming this makes me question it altogether.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, this isn't CGI kind of stuff,
No, it's not. On Twitter or X, the guy who disseminated this, he gave there he is. They gave the raw files.
Wow. I mean, what the hell?
Whoa, he's pretty big, huh?
Yeah, what? I mean,
it looks like he's wearing a hat or a helmet, or he's gray. I mean, right? He looks the same color as the rocks.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if maybe that's why the U.S. government doesn't want to release anything, is because the aliens they're not 5 foot tall, they're 60 feet tall.
Right, huge. Yeah, the Nephilim.
Yeah, Nephilim.
What is everyone saying? I'm really curious if anyone watching can translate. Did my best how to translate some important ones. Look, he's in the middle of the cliff. Look, so camouflaged. Look, he's coming down now in less than a minute. All of this, and how if it's a monkey?
That makes no sense. I mean, that whoever was speaking, who goes, "How is that a monkey?" They're totally right. That makes no sense.
It's on maximum zoom already, man. It came down really quick. Look at its step, the size. It vanished. It's really giant. Look at its tail. I think I heard the word Anunnaki. I'm Brazilian, so feel free to ask anything. Whoa.
Need a regular person on that path for scale.
How about a shark?
Well, I as much as I despise Reddit, it does come up with some good content.
And it does.
Funny comments once in a while. Even though funny comments add literally nothing to the discussion.
Oh my god.
I can't even read that.
I know.
I don't want to see that.
Scroll past all this. Oh man. I guess now Paramount or Showtime is getting into UFOs. This is a show called UFO on Paramount. It's just a small preview, but Doty's in there. They also found a live alien, episode 4, official clip. So yeah, I didn't know Richard Doty, former Air Force intelligence officer. He's everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see that story he told on YouTube?
Which one?
we've discussed it before, but now he has a clip about it because I couldn't find it before. He once did it in some interview on some podcast, but now he has a video.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know if I
it
linked it
probably
up.
got scrubbed.
He talks about in the 1980s or 90s is a secret radio or laser station out in New Mexico that we blind satellites to, and these technicians went out to fix it, and all of a sudden it's UFO lands and 2 aliens come out.
Oh my God,
device.
no, I didn't see that.
Oh, so it's not this one. This is something else. They also is this Roswell maybe? I like it.
1947. Two craft crashed into Mexico. They collided, and one crashed near Corona, New Mexico, which is public record. The second craft crashed way out west of Magdalena, New Mexico, and that wasn't found until 2 years later.
Wow.
But the one that crashed in Corona, they also found a live alien. That live alien was named Eva, and he was transported to, it was a male, was transported to Los Alamos, where he lived out his life. He died in 1952. But during that time period that he was with us, he told us a plethora of information about what they have learned about the universe and what their technology is. Their technology is probably estimated to be about 50,000 years ahead of us.
It's so crazy. So
Yeah.
there's that show.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I'm gonna wait. How come I don't have it? I'll resend it to you, but you have to. Yeah. Did I miss?
Why are you bringing this movie up again? I hate this movie. It was so dumb.
No, I know, and I want everyone to know that it's one of the worst movies I've seen in ages.
So this movie is called Leave the World Behind. Terrible. It's on Netflix. Don't watch it. It is not good. But anyway, we had this. The reason I sent this to Adam is we had this discussion about the show, the movie, on one of the previous episodes, and this guy on Reddit breaks it down and goes, "This is dumb. This is dumb. This is the reason why it's dumb." And it's a lot of the stuff I said too.
Well, I mean, on that note, I mean, this came out about it. So he talks about that there's a secret. He goes, video editing expert discovers low frequency infrasound embedded in Leave the World Behind, in Obama's Leave the World Behind movie.
You know what a producer does, by the way? Nothing.
Oh, really?
They attach their no.
Well, they invest, I think, right? Or is that
Right.
executive producer?
Right.
Yeah. So okay, so let's just listen to this guy, what he says.
Okay, I'm just showing this to people who have never seen this.
It's not very loud, huh?
No.
That I have been using Sony Vegas.
What the hell's Sony Vegas? Do you even know what Sony Vegas is?
I don't know.
All right. Anyways, this guy says that there's an extra audio file in this movie, like no other movie he's downloaded or ever seen. Usually there's one audio track.
Mhm.
He's seeing 4 audio tracks, and one of them is an infrasound, like a subliminal.
That does
low
not surprise
frequency.
me one bit, honestly.
Maybe that's why it's kind of scared the hell out of me a little bit. I mean, I was watching it alone. It was late at night. It gave me just a weird feeling watching that movie, even though it sucked. It's on a lot of levels. I had this like underlying anxiety watching it, and it could have been that track.
Yeah, very well could have been.
We are gonna let me put the camera back on again.
But
so this is big news, just so people realize. In 15 years of video editing, I have never downloaded, and I'm speaking specifically a movie file, okay, a Hollywood movie from a torrent, downloading it in either MKV, MP4, occasionally AVI. 100% of the time, over 1,000 movies I've done this with, you have video file, audio file, period. This is the very first time I've ever seen anything like this with the 4 files. Bonnie's going to go
That is weird.
now talking about...
Oh man, it's the Obama striking again.
I know it's got to be with his name. With his name, you know. That kind of does it with the UFO stuff. Although the Doty one, you have to watch it. I'll resend it to you. Maybe I'll put it in the notes. But he tells the whole story, and it's even the way he ends it is really cool. I know a lot of people don't trust Doty. There's the reason why people don't trust Doty, but he's tried to fix himself. He's retired.
Yeah, but like AJ said, when you work for the government, You never. You may technically retire, but you never retire.
Yeah, someone like AJ won't believe him. He wouldn't
Yeah.
even give him 2 seconds.
Mhm.
So, but when it comes to the Florida State Surgeon General calls for halt in the use of CV, the vax. I just don't want to see it. Yeah.
Oh man.
It might delete our channel or at least this video because that's what happened last time. But yeah, so he's calling for the halt of those mRNA vaccines, which is crazy that a Surgeon General of a state. I mean, it is Florida, but still.
Yeah,
saying
it's a whole thing that we're not allowed to talk about, and the fact that we're not allowed to talk about it is pretty suspect.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other stuff that we shared about Israel and
Just a lot of people got sick around 2019, 2020. That's what we're referring to, people.
Yeah, exactly. And they're still pushing on kids, I have to fight every single time, I take my kid to the so is she up to them? Like, no, she's not taking that one. Okay, stop it.
Yeah, actually, what's funny is I went to the doctor for my regular annual or 6 as checkup anyway, and they asked me that, but they didn't make a big deal out of it. They were
Right.
just like, hey, you haven't taken this. Do you want this? And I was just like, no, thank you. And they were like,
Like,
okay,
okay. Yeah. It's not.
But
I got well, a lot of you say that, then you get sick. I'm like, well, if I was a sickly person, I probably would take it, but I'm not.
Right. Yeah. Thankfully, I've got good genes. I don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. We're healthy, I mean, I get it if you need to.
Yeah.
But I take my vitamins every single day.
Oh,
I
I
make sure
don't.
I eat healthy.
I don't.
Well, okay.
I definitely don't do that.
5 days out of the week. Now, there's a lot of Israel stuff that we shared together.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff going on in that region of the world. I'll say that there's just a lot of stuff going on.
Oh no, so that's not working. All right, so that post is not working. There was one he shared of a professor, if you remember. He went up to him. He goes, "How many kids do you want dead?" And he goes, "As many as it takes." And he starts screaming at him. He goes, "I want them all dead, all of them." And he starts screaming, and he eggs them on. He goes, "Yes, more." And he just anyway, too bad. So that's gone.
Yeah, there's a lot of angry people on. God, I'm trying to be as diplomatic as possible. There's a lot of and I know this one too. Didn't I send this to you?
Yeah, you sent me this one.
There's a lot of angry people that are involved in this conflict. I'll put it that way.
They are. They're not used to Americans not being 100% with them.
Yeah,
they can't stand the fact that there is whatever 5-10%. I would say by max 15%. They are questioning the relationship and questioning what they're doing. So look, some people put this up. It seems to me that young Americans need another 9/11. They're saying young Americans because I think the vast majority of young Americans are against what's happening.
And this is just such a sick thought to have, especially when you look back at 9/11 and some of the things that Jesus
happened.
We're gonna get this podcast canceled.
No, I think with this subject it's okay. We haven't been ever but yeah, we still have to be careful.
There were people dancing as the towers were going down.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to talk about that.
Even though the FBI investigated it and released the information, Yeah. So you sent me this one too. A U.S. serviceman cut off on CNN in the middle of saying Israel can defend itself against Iran. I remember this. It was 2012 or something. And of course, removed.
Yep, of course.
For violating our terms of service? What is that exactly?
Nothing. I mean, you can upload. I mean, this isn't some kind of weird thing. You can upload porn to Reddit. But,
oh, yeah, like hardcore.
Yeah. But if you put something on there that's against a certain country that I'm not allowed to say, it gets removed immediately. It's crazy. Even the comments are calling this out where they go, I tried to watch this, but couldn't. And see, oops, this video has been removed. I mean, trademark violations or some crap excuse. Yeah, that's really, that's pretty much my emotions on it. It's something. We're not anti-Semites. I don't hate Jewish people.
Of course not.
I don't.
Anti anyone.
Right. But it's sick and disgusting how you cannot criticize the government of one certain country.
It's a government, exactly. It's not a people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and we know that like only 15% like the government there now. Like the vast majority of the population was protesting the Netanyahu before all this happened. You know, so it's not like they're not like one. It's just weird. So when you criticize what Netanyahu and his government are doing, how can that be that you hate the entire people? Just doesn't
Right.
make
It
any
has
sense.
nothing to do with the people.
No, it doesn't. And even Jews are themselves are criticizing. Maybe that's
Yeah.
what it is. They don't want other Jews to wake up.
This was a really good video.
I'm scared to play this one too because she talks about like
we might skip this one.
a certain German. Yeah, so let's skip that one. Hey, why is this one on here? Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, Brother Nathaniel. Maybe this one is not going to work either.
Yeah, shocker.
I mean, he's he is a convert, a Jewish convert. He's a Catholic now, and he was asked. I think Jewish control of America again. But all this stuff is coming out. This is on X, on Twitter, that this came out. It was an interview with Infowars. Actually, that word might get us banned too. All right, you know what? Let's just move on. How about this? Here we go.
Perfect. Oh my God. Okay, this was nuts.
Yeah, it was.
This was absolutely nuts. This guy cleared that desk.
So
all right,
crazy.
so the title of the thing, man attacks Vegas judge during sentencing today. This guy had a bunch of crimes in his backlog and, had been sentenced and got out, been in prison and, all that stuff. Anyway, this judge, a woman, said, forget all of the parole, all of the slap on the wrist stuff. This guy needs the book thrown at him.
Right. Yeah.
And when he got sentenced, he ran past his what the hell? Anyway,
his bench or not the bench? No.
His attorney. He ran past his attorney and just Superman flew over the judge's desk and tackled this woman, her honor, the judge, and then just beat the crap out of her.
Yeah, and this guy tried to beat him up. It was really funny watching him hit.
He punched her. He punched him. The guy you were just talking about on the right. He punched him and punched him and punched him, and then just gave up because
it did nothing.
Nothing happens. Yeah,
nothing happened. The guy is huge.
I've never seen a
That's like a football player. The way he launched. Oh my God!
I can't imagine seeing that thing fly at you.
Dude, yeah, right. Where are the guns? I mean, I don't understand. Like, or tase him or something.
I mean, this poor woman is getting kicked and punched. These two guys are trying to control the defendant, and I don't think they really get anywhere until this guy.
Nowhere. No, he's still hitting her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure they're not going to show us what happened.
That's, by the way, in the blue jacket right there, sitting in front of the
guy.
Yeah, that's his attorney. I'm not kidding. You can go back and watch the film. He's just like, what the hell?
That's so insane. So is she okay? So she just didn't give him parole. That's it.
She said something along the lines of, this isn't going to work anymore. Let's try something else, and gave him prison time, and he flipped out. I mean, his crimes were. I mean, this is one of those people where.
What are his crimes?
They've been arrested over and over again, domestic violence, regular violence, and just they get arrested and then released, and it's happening. Unfortunately, it's happening a lot in this country. I mean, where do you have? Oh, this is. We definitely cannot play this, even though we should. No, you know what? Let's get our podcast canceled. We'll start it as something else.
She's being funny. It's a joke. Come on.
It's
She's
a
being
joke.
funny. It's a joke. So let's listen to her. This is in response to other videos like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's listen to her.
We're Israeli, so I can just move to the West Bank and take someone's house, even though I'm from
You
LA.
got to start it over with the
We're
volume up.
Israeli. The IC. We're Israeli, so I can just move to the West Bank and take someone's house, even though I'm from LA. We're Israeli. The ICC and the UN doesn't apply to us. We're Israeli, so in our military, we take thirst trap videos and selfies standing on someone's grave. We're Israeli. We have healthcare, college, and we get houses bought for us, all thanks to the American taxpayer. But not thank you, you owe it to us. We're Israeli. We can keep with impunity and say that we're just defending ourselves. Move over, Florida. Your stand your ground law has nothing on us. We're Israeli. We put the set in settler.
Oh my
We're
God.
Israeli. We put America to shame with the way that our government lies on TV. We're Israeli, the only democracy in the Middle East, unless you live over the border in Gaza, and then shut up, prisoner. We're Israeli. We care about multiracial democracy as long as the Arabs stay in their quarters. We're Israeli. Most of our funding comes from right-wing evangelicals in America, but don't bring that up, bigot. We're Israeli. We care about women's rights. Unless you're Palestinian, and then girl bye. We're Israeli. For us, the phrase "but Hamas" is a whole personality.
She's brilliant, man. That was hilarious.
You know, and I've been looking for Rayleigh. I don't know where she is.
Rayleigh? Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AI couldn't even the AI was like leaving it out.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's a
Yeah.
well-known word.
Now, I'm glad you're playing this. This is more humor, has nothing to do with politics or conspiracy. But this guy, Trevor Moore, incredibly clever. You might know him from what was their show called?
Not Kids in the Hall.
No, as Whitest. It has something to do with
Yeah.
the Whitest Guys.
Yeah, I remember it.
Anyway, they were on Comedy Central. They're really funny. He died, unfortunately. I don't know. I think we might have actually talked about it before.
Yeah, we did. I forget what it was. Was it did he take his life?
No, you know what is so sad? I mean, God, he might even think this is funny. He got drunk and fell off his second floor balcony.
What? No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
That sucks.
Anyway,
man.
this is a skit or a song by him. Very funny.
Hide your mom.
Oh, dude. Oh, dude, you gotta hit that shit. Oh yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
What? Are you kidding?
You way too big for that whittle biddle ass hit, dog. Come on. Pass it, man.
I know. Look, the thing about me is I like to get high incrementally because I had a bad experience once. So I like to take little hits and see where that leaves me. That way I know how much more I can smoke before I get scared and stuff.
What? You just stop being a little bitch and hit that shit. Hit that shit.
This guy looks like he's 12.
Hit that shit. Hit that shit.
I'm going.
Hit that shit.
All right.
Hit that
No,
shit.
guys,
Job press now.
guys,
Control
I
this
got it,
rasta. I tell herb good for the
Brah,
soul.
brah.
Bad for Babylon. Babylon shall fall.
Babylon.
I don't know about you, but I hated bongs.
Yeah, it's too much.
It was. It's
Too much.
always too much.
Trevor, put your shoes on. We have to get to midnight mass.
You seen this? You watch it?
Yeah, I did watch it.
I'm high in church. I'm high in church. Oh Lord, forgive me. This is the worst. I'm high in church. I'm high in church. Oh God, please help me. This is the worst. Went home for Christmas and Brian came over. I was nervous because he brought a bag of shrooms and pot, and I'm new to this. I'm just learning. Got a little too high on accident. Yeah, that's right, not on purpose. Then I'm busted in my room, and so we had to go to midnight service. Now we're in the minivan, and my friends don't understand. I'm freaking out here, man, trying to remember who I am. My mom is talking to me, and that's just making it worse. We walk into the lobby. Oh shit, I'm high in church. I'm high in church. I'm high in church. Oh God, please help me. This is the worst. I'm high in church. I'm high in church. I'm high as hell. This is the worst. Go grab a pew. I'm freaking out, don't know what to do. There's an old war vet snoring next to me, and I think he's been here since World War II. I'm peeking here, I'm wigging out. They know I'm stoned, there is no doubt. Brian is reading the Bible and laughing. I plead for him to cut it out, but he's giggling loud. He starts to cry, he's turning red. I don't know why. He's like a goddamn neon billboard saying, hey y'all, we're super high. I ask him what his problem is and what's making him laugh. He points to a verse that says the Lord opened up the mouth of an ass. Oh my God, that's super gross. Why the hell is that in there? My mom shushes both of us, and people turn around and stare. I take the book from Brian, the choir begins to sing. It dawns on me that I've never actually read this thing. I open up the pages and then start flipping through. I find it calms me down and gives my mind something to do. It says some beautiful things about forgiveness and love, till I get to the end when God comes back, wilds out and straight up fucks Earth up. Holy shit, did you know this? Read this last part, what the fuck? Spoiler alert, God comes back with dragons and murders everyone. What happened to the lovey-dovey stuff from the other verse? Oh shit, man, I can't handle this right now. I'm high in church. I'm high in church. I'm high in church. Oh God, please help me. This is the worst. I'm high in church. I'm high in church. I'm high as hell. This is the worst. Need to get where no one can see, so excuse myself to take a pee. But in the bathroom, my old youth pastor comes up and stands next to me. Oh great, he's probably gonna start yapping about how my soul is eternal. But instead, he just asks why my pants are down at the urinal. Oops, sorry about that. Nice to see you. Gotta go. Oh my God, I'm high as balls, and there's no way he doesn't know. Shit, this is getting out of hand. I'm getting higher, need to make a plan. Maybe tell mom I'm sick and try to get the keys to sleep this off in the van. I scroll back to my seat and notice everyone has stopped singing. The pastor asks if there is anyone here who is visiting. Mom gets excited, raises her hand. I tell her no, but she makes me stand. Pastor asks if I'm just here for Christmas, and I say I am. The congregation turns around. The pastor asks me how I've been, and that's about when the goddamn shrooms decided it was time to get the fuck on in. Trevor, you've really done it now. Holy shit, what's going on? What is that voice? I'm freaking out. This is Satan, and you've summoned me to seal your doom. Whoa, hold up, wait a minute. I don't even think I believe in you. I exist within subconsciousness down in your mind, where you did drugs and went to church, so now your soul is mine. For all eternity, you will never escape my clutch. Okay, first of all, I think that seems like a little much. A joint and a couple caps and stems, is that all that a soul is worth? And God made everything I've done tonight, all of it's from the earth. The mushrooms and the pot, yo, he made it all. The nitrous and the Adderall. Muscle relaxers, maybe a little coke, but if that damns me for eternity, then if you ask me, the system's broke. Then Satan disappeared and shrieked the shrieking sound. I sent him back to hell because I fucking stood my ground. The church stares at me, their eyes are open wide, and the pastor asks if I'd stop shouting and please go outside. Sure. Sorry. It's just that I'm high in church. I'm high in church.
Dude, man, I used to always show the one he did about bring out the guillotines.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was during Obama or something.
It's.
Oh, did we lose you, Topher? Hello. Oh, something got disconnected, or you got disconnected.
They.
Oh, there you are. There you are. No, I don't know why it's going in and out.
You're not allowed to say this. I want to kill the president. Anyway.
Oh, yes, that one.
Yeah.
Is that why you're cutting in and out?
Yeah.
This one was really funny too.
This was good. I just found this today or yesterday. I can't remember, but yeah.
Yeah, earlier today. So 2.1 million views, likes. Sorry, you got way more views.
For those people who are listening, go ahead and go to some place where you can actually view this. You need to see that it's a visual humor thing.
Yeah. Meet the flat eye. Yes, I own a tank, and FBI don't like it. It's so funny. Wait, let's play it.
Need powerful light on the go?
Oh, come
on. Oh, you got
mad. FRL 2100 lantern.
Wait, no.
Whether you're a first responder, outdoor
Hit
enthusiast,
back
or just need a
there.
So I was getting a lot of hate. Oh, okay. Yeah, the gun is actually plugged, so nothing can go in or out of it. So unfortunately, it's just deactivated.
We're good, man. Solid pass-through on the whole barrel.
No, I think there's probably a plug in here.
I can see you really well.
Oh, wait, I can see you too. See, the difference between my tank and a tank that's deactivated is that mine isn't deactivated. Let's put it back up. You got the wrong one.
You just told me get the big one.
The big American one. I'm just going to stand behind this, and then we'll get it lined up. All right.
There's a Fed here.
Which one? Well, I have the registration for it. It's for a 2001 Honda Civic.
Step the out of the vehicle. Don't let me burn.
So I was getting a lot of.
Oh my god, I'm going to put 18 on this episode.
Yeah, the fact that he goes, he holds an RPG up to the barrel, and he goes, "Just hold it straight." So
and it says never ever put an RPG.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was really funny. That was too funny.
Well, dude, this has been another long ass episode.
2 hours 20 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I apologize for taking a nap in the afternoon. I'm
No problem.
getting older every day. I'm taking after my dad.
Naps are nice. They're important too.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Good episode.
I thought so too. I mean, yeah, I'm shocked at how much news is coming out about UAPs and aliens and conspiracy.
Yeah, and I didn't even include that
Every
new Doty one. I think it's super important. Maybe next week we'll put it in there. But I'll send you the video so you can see it. It's really the way he tells the story is awesome, and the way he ends it is awesome. Like, especially he just shows how him and his family have been integrated into this.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm excited to have to come up with a new name next week because our podcast will be canceled after this week's episode. We criticized the wrong government.
Oh, man.
But we want to thank you all so much for listening. Sorry you'll never hear from us again.
It's been nice, 53 episodes. We did well.
Yeah, we got to a year and it was just like, forget it. Let's just throw everything out the window.
The good news is podcasts are almost you can't really censor podcasts because we have RSS feeds. So if someone knows our RSS feed, that's it. That's all they need.
Yeah, and I mean,
FYI,
Joe Rogan has existed all this time. He hasn't been canceled yet, and he said some questionable things. Even though I think about 95% of what he said has been accurate and correct.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, thank you all so much for listening to the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. I'm what did I say? Oh, Topher Shakur. That's I Want to Believe Adam.
I haven't changed. Yes.
Yeah, no, you're good. I try and come up with a good joke each week to put in the feed.
Well, cool. Yeah, and everyone hit us up on Twitter. You got Topher et al. He's there. Our UAP the podcast. That's for the podcast, and then we're on all podcasting platforms. We're on YouTube. Come on, get on there, share it with everyone, interact with us, and we're also on Rumble. I'm putting them up manually now, so we're caught up finally. But
good.
Yeah, we're caught up there. And where else? That's about it. I mean, we're pretty much everywhere, and we're getting a lot of impressions on Spotify. And if you put like UAP, we come up. We're like the first one. So I don't know why we're not like much bigger. People just maybe don't like our style. I don't know.
And if you're really lucky, you can see the comments that I post that Adam deletes.
I really thought that was like some troll last week when I messed up the intro.
What was funny is last week, you messed up the intro. It wasn't a big deal. It was just like it played twice.
Yeah.
And in like literally the first thing you said on the show was, I messed up the intro. Did you notice? I think I said no or yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But the comment I posted was the intro was messed up. Therefore unlistenable.
Therefore unlistenable. I was like, who's this guy? And then you told me it was you, so I felt better about myself.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening. It's been great. I hope you enjoyed the last couple hours, and as always, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.